Alrighty, welcome back. It is another Stupid Tower nickname replay here. This time we have Sweet Towerline against Agent Kid. Another ladder match, and I don't know who either of these guys are, but these nicknames are still stupid. Here we go. Sweet Towerline on the bottom. Salamence and Zapdos, standard lead for both guys. Salamence gets out of the way as it's more or less obligated to do. And Steelix comes in, which is a mon you don't see every day, and that's going to be immune to either Thunder Wave or Toxic. Turned out that it was Thunder Wave. Gonna BP to Rachi, and hey, as it turns out, that's immune to Toxic as well, so nobody's done anything to anybody, and now Swampert comes in. It's going to be advantage for Sweet Towerline on the bottom. Celebi, obviously a great answer to Swampert. And in comes Camerupt. So we have some not in OU pokes for both guys. They're both slow. They both have boom. They're both weak to Earthquake, but they're not the same poke. Overheat there. 50% despite the Calm Mind defensive boost. Pretty big damage there, but I think Camerupt now is going to have to get out of the way. We'll see if the Celebi has Baton Pass to give those Calm Minds to somebody else. As it turns out, it's just Explosion. Don't know if that crit mattered or not. Depends on how bulky the Celebi is. It's possible that he could have survived that, but it is just going to be a trade. And it's going to be Salamence and Swampert. No new information for either. The switch-in for Swampert was Celebi before, so the question becomes, does Towerline have another switch for it? Answer is yes, he has Coon, which also indicates, given everything that he's shown, clearly Sweet Towerline is going to have a Magneton in the back. Clear as day. Celebi wants it gone, Coon wants it gone. All four of the pokes that he's shown so far want Skarmory gone. So Magneton is going to be there somewhere for him, no doubt about it. Lead Zapdos here, hidden power, whether that's grass or ice, it would be neutral on Steelix, 24%, now 29%. And it's simply going to be a Toxic back from the Steelix. See what they both want to do here. I think Jirachi probably comes in at some point, being immune to Toxic and being A-okay should he go for Explosion. And BP is effectively the same thing. However, he goes to Swampert here, since he now knows that there's not going to be a Toxic on this turn. It was simply a Protect. Interesting that he doesn't go for Protect again. I think I would have there if I were Steelix, and it would have worked out better. He actually would have killed the Hydro Pump PP and gotten more lefties there with basically no drawback. So I think that was a minor misplay for Sweet Towerline. But nevertheless, he does get his Coon in here, and he gets Calm Mind up. Of note, neither player has Sand thus far, so the Coon is exceptionally bulky and is gaining lefties, where obviously if there were Sand, those would cancel out the lefties. Surf at +1, 56%. Zapdos pretty low. The Coon gets out of the way anyway. Conservative play for Towerline. Could have stayed in and survived Thunderbolt there. Remember, he was at +1 from the Calm Mind. I think a lot of players would have just stayed in and surfed there, but he sees it differently. Here's a second electric immunity. He's got a Claydol, and like I said, the last poke's going to be Mag, so it's just an unconventional take on a Magdoll team for Sweet Towerline. Agent Kid, unclear what his last two Pokemon are. Camerupt is always a wonky poke that kind of throws off what you think the team might be, but I'm eager to see what the last two pokes are for him. Protect and Earthquake respectively, so Rachi is going to eat its own wish that it used last turn, go back up to a hundo. Pretty safe from Claydol here. Coon at 77% is going to come in. Here's a wish. And Agent Kid is probably going to be hoping that he has a Tyranitar in the back here. Otherwise, that Coon just looks like a real problem. And I don't know what Zapdos this low is going to do. It does receive a wish. That's good. But he's still poisoned, and I still don't know that he beats the Coon 1v1 in this situation. But Sweet Towerline refuses to keep going with this matchup, and Agent Kid doesn't pull the trigger either. They both switch. We end up with Steelix on Rachi here. Steelix has shown only Toxic Protect, but probably the last two moves are Earthquake Boom. It could be Earthquake plus something else, like an HP Rock or a Rock Slide or whatever, but it's probably just Boom. And Rachi shows itself now to be Body Slam, showing that for the first time. So the last move is almost certainly Fire Punch. Looking at an Astorachi here, which is one more thing that cannot kill this Coon. Agent Kid just looks very Coon weak at the moment. That's really easy to say when he still has two pokes in the back, one of which could easily be great against Coon. Could be a Leech Seed Celebi, could be his own Coon with Roar, whatever it may be. But thus far in this game, he keeps going to Zapdos on it, but the Coon is boosted. Zapdos is not boosted, can't be boosted, and is poison. And he's going to go for it now, but I mean, this really reeks of desperation that this is what he has to do. He goes for the Thunderbolt here despite the two Calm Mind boosts. He's going to die to a Surf and the poison, and Zapdos goes down just like that. So here comes T-Tar. That's going to set up Sand, much needed to make that Coon less bulky, and he's going to go for the para flinch strategy on the Coon. Again, a conservative switch out for Sweet Towerline. This one I do agree with. And Claydol is going to be the response. Claydol is going to find itself against Pert. That actually does more than I thought it would do. That's going to be not the world's most defensive Pert to do 31 there. And it's going to be a double switch back to Tar. And that's going to work. That was a nice double switch for Agent Kid. He's going to get T-Tar against the Coon, which is still paralyzed. He can once again go for the para flinch play, or he could DD up if he has that. Does go for the rock slide, does not get the para or the flinch that he's looking for, but it's surf here from Coon as opposed to rest. So apparently Sweet Towerline is willing to let this happen. Tower did not have lefties there of note, could be a choice bander, and we wind up with this matchup, Swampert on Steelix. Swampert has shown Hydro Pump, so Steelix has to be careful. Last poke mag, as I knew it would be. And good prediction for Agent Kid going for Earthquake there. That's going to be a knockout, and we've got ourselves a 4-4. There is still the one hidden poke in the back for Agent Kid. Coon coming in trying to avoid a full para or a crit, of course, and get a rest off. Here's a focus punch, and that is a bad time for a full para. Coon is going to be in dire straits now at just 10%. It can't survive the earthquake that's almost certainly coming from the Pert here, and basically the Coon is dead. Nevertheless, Salamence comes in, obligatory Earthquake for Agent Kid. He has to go for that there, even if he thinks Salamence is coming in. He cannot allow the Coon to get a free rest off there by going for Ice Beam, and it's going to show itself to be Wishmance, which is very common on Steelix teams, though basically this team for Sweet Towerline cannot win if not for the Coon. The same way certain teams are all in on Lax, this is effectively all in on Coon, and that's bad news because Coon is basically dead. So I think Sweet Towerline is in some trouble here. I think that Agent Kid is in a very favorable position, but they are going to continue playing it out. That was a very good Toxic. This Pert is not going to have Refresh, so that does definitely put a meaningful clock on the Swampert. The last poke is still unrevealed, however, for Agent Kid, and this Rachi is going to have Fire Punch if he wants to push the issue here. Instead, he's going to go for Wish, do a quick health check here. Tyranitar at 49% could certainly use it. He doesn't have lefties either. He's going to stay in for Fire Punch since he anticipates an Earthquake here. Indeed, it is Earthquake. He was fishing for a 20% burn that he did not find, but the Wish is going to bring him back to a hundo. He's now going to go for Body Slam. Every time he does that, he has a 60% chance with Serene Grace to find Paralysis. He does find it here on the Claydol, and he's going to eat an Earthquake for his trouble. The damage on Claydol almost irrelevant, but the para could be annoying. There's Wish and Earthquake. Rachi always lives a non-crit there. Crit doesn't come, and now Rachi can just protect itself back up to a very healthy state. So Protect plus Wish is going to bring him up to 78% after lefties. Rachi very much back in business here. Claydol healthy as well, though he does have that annoying para still bugging him. Body Slam is seemingly the best thing he can do, only 16%. Full power for Claydol doesn't overly matter there. Agent Kid does not seem to have a switch that he's happy with here. Swampert should be safe, you would think, but it is still suffering from that poison. And then on the other hand, the T-Tar would love to receive a Wish, but it's got to be careful because it doesn't want to come in on an Earthquake from Claydol that could easily kill it. And there is Wish and Earthquake, so Agent Kid is going to let the Jirachi go in exchange for passing a Wish elsewhere. I'm surprised that he goes to Swampert here. I was thinking he would probably want to set up the T-Tar. He still can if that's what he thinks the best play is, and that is what he goes for, but I would like to see... Oh, that's a real bad play. I would like to see Sweet Towerline anticipate that and go for the Earthquake there, unless he's out, which he is not. That was just a bad play for Sweet Towerline. Fails to anticipate that. Absolutely should have clicked Earthquake there. The Psychic there was definitely a mistake. I mean, a little bit of credit for Agent Kid, I guess, for baiting him into that, if you will. Obviously, you want to offer up the opponent an opportunity to make a mistake, but it's still a mistake that he should not have made. I definitely would have liked to have seen him click Earthquake there if he was going to stay in. He was unable to do that, and the T-Tar got healed when it really didn't need to. And certainly Agent Kid has seemed like the better player in this game. It looks to me like he's probably going to take this one down. Certainly now with the Coon going down to the Hydro Pump, I have a really hard time envisioning how Sweet Towerline can win. As a whole, his team, I think, just lacks win conditions. Remember, it's Wishmance, not DD or any kind of aggressive set. Steelix and Claydol are just total defensive non-sweeper, do-nothing Mons. Magneton can do damage, but is obviously not a sweeper or a win condition. Celebi, we don't know what the last move was. We saw Leech Seed Combine recover, but I mean, even if it is Psychic, which is an ancient sweeper set, you're just walled forever by Tyranitar, which you don't have Dugtrio to support you, so you can't clear that out either. If it's HP Grass, I think that's just not a reliable sweeper. I think there's too many things you just don't do enough damage to. Overall, the team for Sweet Tower Line is just completely all in on Kuhn, and I just don't like all in strategies in general. I think if you have to do it, all in on Lax is probably better than all in on Kuhn, but nevertheless, all in on one poke is just a risky strategy as a whole, and this is a perfect example of a game where it just isn't going to work out. It's as simple as that. There are a couple of nice little plays, like that Toxic was good. Toxic earlier on the Swampert was good. I mean, Sweet Tower Line has not played atrociously, but I don't think he's played well either. And at the end of the day, I just don't think his team is good enough. He's fighting. He's trying to win with just the Steelix, and that's fine. His prerogative to play it out. But realistically, I just don't see that happening. Blow for blow here, man. That is an underwhelming Earthquake. 37% from a stab Earthquake that Tyranitar is weak to. I don't know how that did that little. Maybe Steelix is not invested whatsoever in attack. He might be full HP, special defense, or something along those lines. But that Earthquake was pathetic. He is intimidated, but still, I mean, I really thought it would do more than that. He's got to have very little investment in attack, would be my guess. Going through the motions here with a couple of protects, but the next Earthquake from Tar will put it away. There is the failed protect. There is the Earthquake. Down that goes, and Agent Kid is going to take this one down. So Team Stupid Tar Nicknames is going to fall to 1-1 on the night. There's going to be a third and final game, which I have not seen, don't know the outcome of, and that's going to decide if Team Stupid Tar Nicknames is victorious or fails in flames. I'm voting that it fails in flames so people stop using them, but I won't get my hopes up. So, let me know if you liked the game. Thumbs up if you did. I thought that the guy who played better and probably brought the better team realistically came out on top, so I'm okay with how this went. Let's go to the third and final game. Thumbs up, like I said, if you liked it. Thank you very much.